Hello everyone and welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the fourth episode of this series where we're going to talk about creating a performant lazy list here in our Jetpack Compose Basics Code Lab. So the concept here with lazy lists, or specifically lazy columns and lazy rows, are basically that they are, it says it right here, equivalent to the Android recycler view. We all know and love the recycler view. We saw how powerful it was. If you've been following the channel, Epoxy, it's extremely powerful. And so there's just the compose way of doing it here with the lazy column. Taking a look at this composable here, if we modify our greetings function to accept a list of strings instead of just a single string, we can go ahead and create a list out of it by simply implementing a lazy column like such. So let's just go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and copy this right here. Let's bring it into our greetings here. And of course we need to update our names here, so we'll go like that. And we'll just import some things along the way, all that good stuff, and we are ready to go here. So I don't know how that's going to look inside of a preview, but when we run it in the emulator, it'll definitely look a little bit different. Okay, so it does actually update inside of our preview to make it look like that, which makes a lot of sense. So sounds good. Let's just go ahead and run it in our emulator as well so we can see how that works. And picking back up here, we have the splash screen. We hit continue, and now we see this scrolling list here. We even get that little over scroll, if you can see. I don't know if you could see, but I can see it very faintly at the very top. We get an over scroll, and here, we could fling this, and it looks pretty performant. It looks pretty good. So everything here is great. Let's see if we have like 2 and 4 and 36 as expanded. Interesting. So we've lost state through that. 2, 4, and let's see, 36 is probably gone too. Yeah, okay. So it looks like we're not persisting the expanded state across all of these items, but I'm sure we'll fix that as we move forward in this code lab here. I think that's about it for this. Look at that. Persisting state. Okay. Yep, they call it out here. It has one problem. If you click on the buttons and you rotate, the onboarding screen is shown again. Okay, so that's a separate problem that we didn't run into. The remember function only works as long as the composable is kept in the composition. When you rotate, the whole activity is restarted, so all the state is lost. This also happens with any configuration changes. Instead of using remember, you can use remember savable. It will survive configuration changes such as rotations and process death. Okay, so let's see what actually happens here if this, if we rotate the screen. Yep, we go back to that code lab there. We rotate the screen again, we go that way, okay. And so they were saying to remove, or not remove, but change around, instead of remember, to remember savable. I don't think we need the inputs, and that's really all we needed to change. We go ahead and rerun things here, and we'll see if that retains state. So here we are with the splash screen. We'll go ahead and continue. Let's rotate our screen here a little bit. And look at that, it actually does retain. Let's see if it keeps around the same one. So this is 16. We go back and rotate the screen again. Yeah, it actually keeps this state right there, 16. Interesting. I wonder, that doesn't solve this problem, does it? No, it doesn't. We're still losing that state. Well, I'm sure we'll figure that out in a little bit. All right, not much else to this section here, so we'll just move on. Now we have the idea of animating our list here. So we see a little preview of what it's going to look like there. It looks like it's kind of got this little overshot animation and whatnot. We're going to be using the animate DP as state composable, which returns a state object whose value will continuously be updated by the animation until it finishes. It takes a target value whose type is DP. Okay, so yeah, if we remember, we had a simple if statement for if it was expanded to set it to 48 DP, otherwise 0, and it looks like you can just say by animated DP as state, and next thing we know here, we're animating appropriately. So let's go ahead and just copy this over. Instead of just this simple definition there, we're just going to update it very easily to what was in the clipboard. We'll just go ahead and animate that. We'll obviously do expanded.value, or let's see if we just go ahead and update this to be by remember, then we can get rid of all of these other dot values. Just like that, and then this needs to become a var for the expanded so that we can modify it down here. Lovely. Now this is defined as a state of DP, so let's see. I mean, we're using it here where we just say bottom equals that. So do we need to do anything else? I mean, no, it doesn't look like it. It looks like this just stays like that, which is exactly what we have. Run the app and try the animation. So let's see. All right, now we're back here. We're gonna go ahead and, all right, yep. So it doesn't look like it's completely working. Am I missing something? Oh, never mind. That's definitely actually animating. It just doesn't have the little bounce, which it says that this takes an optional animation spec parameter to customize the animation, do something more fun like a spring-based animation. So we're going to go ahead and just copy that and pass that info in. Yep, so we have animation spec and then a finished listener. Oh, okay, all right. That's nice to know. And so after adding this information in, our little animation spec, we can go ahead and rerun things. And all right, there's a little bit of a bounce there. Oh, the app crashed. I don't know if that, oh no, it's actually crashing. Padding must be non-negative. Okay, I don't see how it is negative. We just set it to 48 or 0. So I'm a little confused there. Let's go ahead and rerun that. Let's see if we can reproduce it. Let's see if they talk about it at all. Yeah, so it does look like this bug is quite reproducible in the sense that, okay, wow, yeah, all right, even if you just toggle it back and forth or do it too quickly. They do mention, though, that you do have a subtle animation bug that will fix later in finishing touches, so that's kind of interesting. And it does look like they can fix it maybe temporarily with the coerce at least logic there. So let's see if that fixes it. I think that'll just prevent it from going below 0. Yeah, so it actually looks like that fixes it, but you know, that is just a band-aid. I guess it's a band-aid that works, hence a band-aid, but yeah, cool. We got a little animation and a little fix to it, but it does have a little bit of a bug in there. So it says the Spring Spec does not take any time-related parameters. Instead, it relies on physical properties, damping and stiffness to make animations more natural. Run the app now, try the animation. We just did. That's pretty cool. I do agree. It does feel a lot more natural when you see it. I'm sure on a physical device it looks even better, which is obviously a great thing we care about. Oh, any animation created with animate as state is interruptible. It means that the value changes in the middle of the animation, it restarts and it points to the new value. Interruptions look especially natural with spring-based animations, and that is true, right? That does feel, although it's a little, ridiculous of a use case, is really nice that this doesn't just, kind of like freak out or rerun the animation every time you click the button, and so therefore you have kind of, like multiple animations running at once and all these other issues that you would have in the XML-based view system. This just, handles it so elegantly. That's just so nice. If you've ever been fighting with animations before, drop a comment down below. I'd love to hear it. It's always the worst. There's always something that goes wrong. It seems like there's different ones for Spring, different specs for tween, repeatable, and then different functions. Animate color as state. Yeah, wow, that's probably really powerful as well. Well, let's see. Hold on. Let me see if we can try background. So let's see if we can do this off the cuff here, right? So if we say color equals by, sorry, there's no equals here. Color by animate color as state. And our target value is a color. So we're going to follow similar logic here where we're just going to say this, that. If we're expanded, we're going to be the color dot, let's go with blue. Else, we're going to say color dot red. All right, let's just copy the same animation spec because, why not? What just happened? I put the comma in the wrong spot there. That's my apologies. Okay, so now we have a color. And now let's go ahead and take our row here and let's just say background color is going to be color. Color equals color is going to be, kind of redundant, but let's get some more room there. But okay, we're going to go ahead and modify this, the whole row to have that color. So let's see if we rerun things, how that works. All right, totally lovely. It's not the entire thing, but that's totally fine. Wow. Yeah, obviously this is a gross example of it, but yeah, that's That's pretty cool. That's really cool. Obviously, again, red and blue is very extremely violent, and it's not the entire thing, but the idea is there, which is really really cool. Just how simple it is to animate between two colors, that's just extremely powerful here. So let's move on to styling and theming our application. Wonderful. All right, so we didn't style any of our composables so far, and we have a decent default, including dark mode support. Let's look into what the theme and material theme are. Let's just real quick look at the dark theme too. All right, so taking a look at our dark theme here, I mean, yeah, sure, right? That looks pretty good. Why not? That's not as bad as it could have been. What do we do if we hit the back button? Okay, so the back button doesn't work. But yeah, I mean, the Basics Code Lab here looks, pretty normal. We continue on. I mean, we got a nice little, yeah, sure. The color is not the worst. So let's open our theme file here. We see the Basics Code Lab theme uses material theme in its implementation. Okay, let's see. So inside of our theme.kt, which is basically right here where we have type, theme, and color, we can go ahead and see how this Basics Colab theme is implemented, right? So dynamic color is available on Android 12 Plus. Okay, so we are supporting that. And then the content here is @composable, and it's a lambda that looks like this, right? And so that's why when we have, let's see here, when we call the Basics Colab theme, this is what we're actually calling this function, right? And then the last bit here is the content for the composable. So I'm sure even if we change this around here to look a little funkier, we could probably have something that looks like this, and this will also compile and work fine, and this is kind of like what we're actually doing, right? But it's just a little bit more Kotlin and Compose style to, I guess in this case with the trailing lambda for the content, to just have it inside of those brackets there. So we can see how the color scheme is defined here. So it looks like it, supports dark theme here if we're within, the correct SDK version. Otherwise, if it's dark theme, we have the dark colors and then the light colors. And eventually here, so we're grabbing our color scheme, and then we have our content, our typography, which just probably points to the typography, the type file, yep. And so here we have all of the interesting stuff about the body large, the font weight, the font family, all that good stuff. And then you can have label small, title large, interesting. So you can kind of just spice up your theme a bit. And then, yeah, it is just a material theme with all of the corresponding content. Okay, material theme is a composable function that reflects the styling principles from material design specification. Styling information cascades down to the components that are inside its content, which may read the information from the styles themselves. In your UI, you're already using Basic Code Lab theme as follows. Yep, we explored that in our onCreate. Because the Basic Code Lab theme wraps material theme internally, my app is styled with the properties defined in the theme. From any descending composable, you can retrieve the properties of material theme, color scheme, typography, and shapes. Use them as the header styles for one of your texts. Interesting. Okay, so if we copy this text here, and then we put that inside of, we'll just paste that in, and let's go ahead and just rerun things here. And clicking through, all right, yeah, now we have a little bit of a headline medium here, definitely a bigger, 0, 1, 2, 3 kind of content. Everything else stays the same, but create your own text style, or you can retrieve a theme-defined style by material theme typography, which is preferred. Okay, this construction gives you access to the material-defined text such as display large, headline medium, title small, body large, label medium, etc. In general, it's much better to keep your colors, shapes, and font styles inside a material theme. For example, dark mode would be hard to implement if you hard-code colors. It would require a lot of error-prone work to fix. Sometimes you need to deviate slightly from the selection. Those you can modify the style with a predefined copy function and make the number extra bold. Ah, interesting. So then you just copy the existing theme, right? Because what is this? Right, that is a text style. And then you can just call textstyle.copy, and all of these attributes we can change here: font family, text direction, background color, geometric transform. What? That is way too much right now. We're just trying to change the font weight there to extra bold. See if we can go ahead and just quickly reapply that. Yep, and now we are bold. Interesting. Okay, let's flip back to light mode here, because why not? Wow. Yeah, okay, this is crazy. That's pretty cool. I like this a lot. All right, that's pretty powerful. Set up a dark mode preview. Okay, so we can just add an additional annotation here to the default preview for our UI mode. Yes, and then we can just name that dark. All right, so if we see our previews here, looks like we have a handful of them, right, that we can go ahead and modify. So let's just do something like this. That doesn't look like Java code to me, but all right. Looks like there is a little bit of an import here that we needed. Not a very big deal. We go ahead and split here. I think we're probably going to have to rebuild. What am I doing? Oh, greetings preview dark. Okay. I mean, it looks a little off, right? I mean, because that's not exactly what we have. We definitely have more of a purple color. I don't exactly know why. All right, I'm not too sure what's going on there, but I'm not going to waste too much time on that. That might just be an IDE bug. I've had a few issues here and there, but nothing too groundbreaking. Oh wait, here we go. Adds the preview in dark mode. Yeah, what? Oh, hold on. So you can actually create a whole nother preview instead of. Oh, okay, so all right. So you can have multiple preview annotations on the same composable. Now that's interesting. That is something I did not know. Oh, no way, no way. Okay, all right. So let's zoom out a tiny bit. That's really cool. So you can have the regular one, you can have the dark mode one. Doesn't look like we have the ability to change like the orientation, but I'm sure there's a way to do that, and then you might be able to see what it would look like in the vertical or horizontal route. Again, okay, so just all these tools here are just really cool, really helpful. So we could define a few new colors, and let's add these in. Okay, so we will take all of these. Let's go over to our color.kt. We'll just simply go ahead and paste those in. Nice little, blue, navy blue kind of theme. And then we can update our light color scheme here inside of our, what would that be, our theme? All the way up here. So we're gonna, all right, maybe we'll just comment this one out, and then we'll just paste this one in here. And of course we're gonna want our dark theme as well. So again, let's just comment that out, and we'll bring that one in. And let's just go ahead and rerun things here. I think that's probably what we need. Okay, yeah, so we clearly have a much bluer, different theme here. I believe this is our dark mode variant. So yeah, wow, really cool. Let's see how this looks in light mode. Yeah, I mean, a little light up there in the notification bar, but otherwise, I mean, very easy to just swap out a few colors, get a whole different look and feel to the app. You could have done that in XML as well, but I mean, this is just obviously a little bit easier to manipulate and whatnot. All right, so we're going to just cover the finishing touches in the next episode here. Thank you guys for following along. Smash that like button. If you are brand new, consider subscribing, and catch you guys in the next one.